So it's time to make a Victoria sandwich. We're baking with Paul Hollywood and his book called Bake. Paul Hollywood says if you're new to baking, this should be your very first cake. If you get it right, everything else will be easy. You can make a Victoria sandwich using all-in-one method where you mix everything together in a bowl at the same time, but I encourage you to cream the sugar and fats together before adding the eggs, flour, and rising agent, as you'll learn a lot about baking this way. Baking is a science, Paul says, and that's true. Also, he says, I like to use half margarine for a lighter texture and half butter for a rich flavor. And I just want to share for context. The Victoria sponge, also known as the Victoria sandwich. Paul Hollywood says there is no Victoria sponge, it's all Victoria sandwich. So I guess it depends on who you speak to. It was named after Queen Victoria, who was known to enjoy the small cakes with her afternoon tea. The version Queen Victoria ate would have been filled with jam alone, but modern versions often include cream. I've made this cake both ways, with whipped cream in the middle, without whipped cream. We're going to follow Paul Hollywood's version today, which just has the preserves. And so let's get this party started. The first thing we need to do is, in a large bowl, cream the butter, margarine, and sugar together using an electric whisk until pale in color and light and fluffy. Here we go. Butter. Oh, actually that was the margarine. 1 stick of margarine and 1 stick of butter. Boom. We're going to add 1 1/4 cups, or about 240 grams of superfine sugar. Until pale in color and light and fluffy. That looks pretty light and fluffy to me. 4 large eggs, whisked together. I'm going to add this to the mixture a little at a time. There we go. Beating well after each addition. Add a few more eggs. Here we go. So, next step. We've beat the eggs together, added them to the mixture, scraped down the sides of the bowl. A little scraping action going on here. There's not that much that really needs to be scraped, however. There we go. And mix again. Sift the flour and the baking powder over the surface of the mixture and gently fold it in. Now we need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Going to add the baking powder to the flour and then we'll sift it all together. 1. 2. 3 teaspoons of baking powder. How's that? sifting nicely now. Look at that beautiful mountain of flour. Gently fold it in using a large spoon. Paul says a large metal spoon, so okay. It's gonna be an amazing cake. Now for the next step, divide the mixture between the prepared cake pans. To ensure the cakes are exactly the same size, you can weigh the cake mixture into each pan. Gently smooth the surface with the back of the spoon to level it. We'll have to weigh them like Paul Hollywood says. Probably good to just get it in the pan to start. The bulk of it. And see if we can get the exact same amount in each pan so that our top and bottom to be even now, don't we? Victoria, here's your sandwich.
You cannot deny me.
853. 809. 832. 832, exactly. Oh my goodness. I am good. I like to give them a little crack on the table. So I think that helps fill in the cracks right up to the edges. There we go. Oh, Paul Hollywood was right. The metal spoon does the trick. That's a creamy, beautiful batter, I've got to tell you. Bake in the center of the oven for 25 minutes until risen, golden brown, and the cakes spring back in the center when lightly touched with a fingertip. They should be slightly shrunken away from the edges of the pan. Leave the cakes in the pans for 5 minutes and then remove to a wire rack and leave to cool completely. Okay. Here are those beautiful cakes. We've been out of the oven for about 5 minutes now. Paul Hollywood wants me to get them onto a cooling rack until they cool completely before we add the preserves and turn 2 cakes into a sandwich, a Victoria sandwich. Let's see if we could do 2 tins at a time here. Ooh, they're a little hot. I'm scared, and it's hot. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Pan number 1. Pan number 2. Now I don't think we want that grid pattern on the top of the sandwich, so let's flip them back straight. Are you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Victoria sandwich. I made Victoria sandwich. Well, one step closer. Here we have it. Which one's going to be the top? And which one's going to be the bottom? We're going to make this one the bottom. So, I don't think it's that delicate of a cake, but I really want to be careful with it. It's time to turn these 2 beautiful cakes into a sandwich, a Victoria sandwich. A half a cup, 125 grams of strawberry preserves. You can use strawberry or you can use raspberry, whichever is your fancy. I don't know quite how to do this, so I'm just going to take this half cup of strawberry preserves, spoon it on top, just like that. And around we go. Well, all I've got to say is Paul Hollywood's has some red oozy stuff. Do I dare? At the risk of total destruction, I think I'd rather have it drippy than invisible. What do you think? Oh, so we're going to go for a little bit of drippy. All the way out to the edges. Okay? And we'll finish her off with a wee bit of castor sugar. With just a little extra sweetness. Castor sugar. One Victoria sandwich. All right, folks. This is what we got. Happy baking. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Now it's time to clean up.